It's about 26 years now since I first started campaigning for a free Iran in this parliament. Is to say very clearly, however long it takes, we won't give up. We will continue to support our friends in the Iranian opposition. I'm delighted at the recent successful joint Lords and Commons statement, which attracted over 500 signatures supporting the activities of the NCRI and calling for a complete and total ban on the IRGC. We won't give up. We won't desert our friends, but we must be willing to do more, because this is a regime that will stop at nothing. The biggest war that they're engaged in is the war at home. They've executed, I understand, about another 170 people since October the 7th, executed them for having the temerity to say they don't agree with what's happening in their own country. This is a regime where execution and torture have become the norm, a regime with a taste for blood and a visceral hatred of the concept of freedom and democracy. And it's a regime that fears Madam Rajavi and her plans for a democratic, free Iran. They're currently ratcheting up their attack on the opposition, which possibly explains why they're trying to intimidate supporters of the opposition here and in other countries. Why they've announced that they're going after members of the PMOI and the MEK, many of whom left Iran perhaps as long ago as 40 years ago. I understand that they've intimated their intention to institute mock trials. In fact, I think it's starting today. And these mock trials are going to take the form of identifying people as Mujahedin, enemies of God. Well, I don't know how people who are in league with the devil can ever think they are entitled to identify anyone as enemies of God. But of course, what we do know is these are put up trials, put up courts. It's a deliberate attempt to threaten and intimidate people, but it also has an extremely sinister aspect, because we have to remember this is a regime that's happy to employ agents and IRGC operatives across the world. It's happy to take part in killings and bombings. And I fear that this announcement may be the green light for a new campaign of assassinations and bombings orchestrated by the mullahs and their IRGC. So while I treat their courts and their charges against members of the opposition with contempt, I warn you, don't mistake the evil that these people are prepared to undertake. They are our enemy. We should always treat them as such. And in treating our enemy as our enemy, we have to know who our friends are, our friends who we have to stick with over the years until we arrive at the point of that free, liberated, democratic Iran that every decent, self-respecting Iranian longs for.